Today's episode is brought to you by Nutrafol. To get your first month supply with subscription for $10, visit nutrafol.com and use promo code BRAINCANDY during checkout.
What up, people?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Susie. Susie's looking extra cute today.
You say that every time.
Well, because
just
I mean
accept
it every time.
I'm really cute.
I know, I should.
Why are you always surprised by it?
I don't. You know what? Because I'm kind of schlubby sometimes.
Oh,
so
okay,
I
that's
assume
stupid.
that maybe she's also going to be like, oh, I'm just going to throw this whole thing on. But then when you throw this whole thing on, it's like super adorbs.
Sarah made the tragic mistake today of wearing jeans, and it's like 1,000 degrees outside. How do you feel?
Like
clammy?
Like it was a mistake. But, you know.
We'll get through it.
Yeah.
You know what? Next episode, pantsless.
Oh.
We should have a
Why
pantsless
not?
one.
Just like, you know.
It's
For all you
time.
loyal listeners out there.
And then you can picture us in our undies, our chonies.
Yes. Chonies.
First of all, I think a few weeks ago...
I thought you were going to tell me what color chonies you were wearing or something. First of all, mine
They're
are pink.
blue. What are yours?
Camo.
No.
Lincoln would love them, but like, you know,
I'm
for
so
himself.
glad this came up.
Are they? Let me check.
Camouflage underwear? Oh my God.
They are.
That's hilarious that they even make them.
So, you know.
Because like,
You
what
can't
if you're
see
just...
me in the wild.
Right, who are you hiding from? Your pants?
That's real cute.
This is episode 237, everybody, and
Whoa.
you can't see Sarah because she is camouflaged. She's ready for combat over there.
At least my lower half is.
I was going to say that I think a few weeks ago, did we or did we not have a debate about whether we liked Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Oh, we had a discussion a long time ago when we did the what came first. Backstreet, and I said Backstreet Boys are NSYNC, and you correctly guessed Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
And then we went on to talk about
Who we preferred.
and I
And
liked
what'd you
NSYNC.
say? And what did I say?
Backstreet Boys.
Oh, okay.
But it's generational because the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC was a little bit later, and I was more like.
Because I have been...
And they had the better songs, duh. But I did go to the Backstreet Boys reunion concert. So
When?
About like 2 or 3 years ago.
You did?
Yeah. I think it was before you lived out here. Maybe it was longer than that.
Yeah, because I for sure would have come.
Yeah, you definitely would have come.
I thought I had said NSYNC for some reason, and I just wanted to say that I was wrong because I do prefer.
Have you like
Backstreet.
recently?
I've been on a phase.
Really?
My kid's really into that. Everybody.
Oh, who isn't?
It came on the radio, and he was like, "What is this?"
He's like, yeah, I want to
likes-
rock my body. Yeah.
He asked me what sexual means because they say, "Am I sexual?"
Okay. What
I was
did
like,
you
"It
say?
means hot stuff."
Oh, okay.
Am I hot stuff?
Yeah.
And that was it.
Oh, he's definitely using that word out in the playground.
What would you have said?
Probably that.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and you made it like you just played it off. And if you're just like, oh, it just means you're hot stuff, then
Yeah.
it like isn't a big deal.
What if
but
I was
you were like,
I'm glad you asked.
yeah,
Let's have a discussion,
yes.
son. You're
See those
clearly
little bumblebees
ready.
out there?
Well, I was sitting by the pool the other day, as a matter of fact, and there were two birds doing it. And I had never seen that
I
before.
was just gonna say, what is that?
I think that's
Tail
why.
feathers up in the air, or what?
Well, you know, it looks like they're kind of fighting, but they're not. That vibe.
Yeah, what sex doesn't though? I'm kidding.
And I thought, I guess that's why we say birds and the bees, because it's probably the first introduction most humans had to banging in the wild.
Yeah, there is a time of year where bees go at it like crazy too. Where I see bees doing it, and they just look like they're giving each other piggyback rides.
Exactly.
And
And,
that's what
it's like,
usually
is that
tell
nice or
children.
not? Yeah. But so bees do it doggy style?
Humans are the only ones who don't.
What?
It just
Why don't they just call it animal style then?
that is the question we've all
The
been asking.
age-old-
Age-old.
I'm just behind.
Yeah.
Really?
Susie, make a note of that. Right, write down animal style.
Animal style.
Because we've reserved that for French fries.
Right, here at In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Oh,
In-N-Out.
interesting. Humans are the only ones that improvise? That seems like made up.
Think of an animal that has sex face to face. Do bonobo monkeys?
Probably.
Maybe they do. They probably have a
They
whole
probably
bunch of
like
different.
frying.
Yeah, they probably are just doing things upside down. I think it was sometimes like, hanging by a tree.
Right.
Goodness
They seem like the
gracious.
type. They
Yeah.
are so wild.
Those bonobos.
Also, I'm just sort of checking boxes on what I wanted to tell you that I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you remember when I was at Disneyland and we had that whole convo about the Haunted Mansion?
Yes, and how it stopped and how.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were real nervous and you were like, F this, I'm out of here.
Right. I'm not falling for this.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot in my haste to tell you about how. Do you know how they have the parade every day?
I sure do.
Why are you?
Because I hate the parade.
Why?
It's just an excuse for a bunch of people. Like, what do I hate more than anything? Slow walkers. What does the parade encourage? Slow walking.
I want to
Slow
get you
walking in a mob.
I want to get
It's
you a
like a
bumper
nightmare.
sticker that says "I hate a parade."
I really do.
That's so
I don't
funny.
like watch it. I mean, I have no. And then it's just like, okay, it goes by. And unless I'm in a very comfortable position. Like, you know what? I love the Rose Parade.
What's that? The Rose Bowl?
The Rose
Wait,
Susie Meister. Do you know what the Rose Parade is? The Tournament of Roses
I
in
don't.
Pasadena that happens on New Year's
I
every
just
day.
know about the Rose Bowl.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
It's awesome.
It's the bet. Well, I love it. So it's this. People are going to think this is such an old lady thing to like. So it's a parade, a big parade that they do with these floats that are all made from flowers and all from
That sounds
plants.
nice.
And so people decorate them. And my family used to go down there and sit out. I mean, back when my mom was a child, they all lived and grew up in Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
So they used to help build them, and they would go down and like put out, chairs in the, neighborhood to
Yeah.
like, watch it go by. And it was a huge, huge event. It's like televised. And oh my gosh, who are the names of the people who always do it? It is, oh my gosh, it's so funny that even like Will Ferrell and Molly Shannon, I think they did a spoof of like
So it's not called the Rose Bowl Parade.
I think it's different. I think it's just called the
Really?
Rose Parade
Okay.
because even though the Rose Bowl is in Pasadena,
They are probably connected.
they probably are.
But
But the
that's
Rose Bowl
fun.
is like a football
All right.
game.
Well, I would be into that because I do
Either
like
way,
parades.
that's the only parade I like.
Well, and most people really clearly do love parades.
Yeah.
Because you know how at Disneyland, like an hour before, people start like making their
Yeah.
seats known.
And slow walking in front of those seats.
So we got ice cream cones and we were kind of like on our way out. But it was right before the parade, maybe a half hour before the parade.
I'm going to need a detailed description of the ice cream cone you got.
So good.
Like, what are we talking? Dipped?
No, I mean, it was just regular on a sugar cone. But I'll tell you what,
Classic.
it was... it was really good and worth every calorie. And the store was really full. There was nowhere to sit or anything. So we went out onto the sidewalk and we were going to sit on the sidewalk. But people were already like saving their spots for the parade. But there was large gaps, plenty of room for sitting. So I lead the way and I sit next to this guy. And there's about 5 feet between him and another guy. And we were just going to sit there and eat our ice cream.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "I'm sorry, we're saving this spot." And
I'm already annoyed.
I have so many regrets because guess what I did not do? I was polite. And I didn't follow our 2018 resolution to stop being polite.
Yeah.
Because you can't fucking do that.
And guess what? You don't own the GD sidewalk, dude.
Exactly.
Scoot your boot. I'm just going to eat some ice cream and then I'm out of here.
Right. And I literally just looked at him in the eye.
I'm so annoyed.
Stood up and walked away.
If only you had an empty water bottle to wave at him. Then you would have been able to like...
So I stood nearby eating my cone enraged. And my family, we kept like getting more and more mad.
Right. Don't
Because
let him ruin your Disneyland experience.
then the guy that was 5 feet away from him, they were together. So they were like doing
a
the tag
barricade,
team.
like he's...
And
oh,
so
no,
we
no.
started seeing them do it to other people. And then they started taking off their shoes and stuff and putting them on the sidewalk. And finally, at the end, I took a picture where I did like thumbs up right next to them and like tried to make them feel like jackasses.
Yeah, they should feel like that.
But what should I have said? Buzz off, you don't own the sidewalk?
Kind of.
Yeah, I should have.
Yeah. Because he was being rude too.
And why
you know
do
what?
white men think they can do that
He
shit?
wouldn't, it wouldn't... And I wonder if he would... If Do you think if Adam went in and stood there, he would have said that to Adam?
Yeah, because he did it to a guy later, and the guy goes, well, do you mind if we just sit here and eat our ice cream cones? And the guy was like, oh, okay.
See, that's what I was thinking.
I know, I really
maybe
blew it.
You should have done like well, can we just stand here for a second? It's like something to make him feel like an idiot.
Right,
He needs to feel like...
I believe that they're immune
I was just going to say that
to
word.
humiliation. And I should answer my own question, because the reason white men think they can do it is because they can. I got up and walked off. It worked.
Yeah, it did.
So I'm going to post that picture.
Yeah.
And it was a reminder, stop being polite.
Yes.
I'm sick of it.
Dude, Suze.
What I'm not sick of, though, is how hot it is. And even though, it's sweaty season,
Yeah.
I'm okay because I have Liquid IV and I can hydrate.
Landon...
He's obsessed.
Obsessed. We may be the number one user of the Brain Candy coupon code.
Well, no, you might be in competition with Mariana because...
Oh, is she on them too?
Do you remember when she was over here doing makeup and
Yeah.
she got sick? Well, Adam got a Liquid IV out.
Yeah.
And she said it saved the day.
Well, so did my friends from New York who had it after we had a long night of drinking. And she said, I swear I was on a plane. I had no sleep. That is the only thing that saved me from feeling like dog.
It's a
poop.
lifesaver.
Yeah.
And it helps me with my migraines as well because a lot of times I think headaches
It's
come from...
dehydration.
Yeah.
Totally, Suze.
Liquid IV is this product that comes in little packets, so they're super portable. You can put them in your purse or in your travel bag or whatever, and you just throw it into your water, but it doesn't have any GMO or weird crap in it. It's just an electrolyte drink that's good for you, and one glass or bottle of it it's like the same as drinking 2 to 3 bottles of water. And it is so great for kids because kids never drink enough.
Yeah, right.
And so I let Lincoln have that, and that way I know he's getting enough water, and it has 5 essential vitamins in it. More vitamin C in it than an orange. I could go on and on. It's so great for if you're sick, if you're traveling, if you've drank too much, or if you just go to the gym like normal people.
Right, or if you just are like thirsty like regular people.
We love Liquid IV. We know you will too. And our listeners get 20% off at liquid-iv.com when they use our code BRAIN at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order on Liquid IV's website, and they have different flavors too. Go to liquid-iv.com and enter promo code BRAIN to get the savings. Start getting better hydration. Liquid-iv.com. Use promo code BRAIN. Don't wait and get hydrated today. So, or you could also have ice cream like I did at Disneyland. You could have both, tag team.
Yeah.
Then you're not
All
so
bases
hot.
are covered.
Anyway, those are my rants for today, but I do have other things. What's on your mind? I didn't mean to hijack that.
No, I love when you have things. I have an update.
Okay.
I did some research.
Oh,
Guess
on
what I did
oh
research
my God.
on? It's
There's so many
something
possibilities.
Right. The debate was out. We did. Oh, she's nodding her head like she knows.
Asparagus pea, cilantro.
Yes! Suze! This is why we're best friends.
What happened?
Because, of all things, you guessed the right thing.
Well, because I've been getting a lot of data myself.
Oh, have you? Okay, well, I did full, PubMed search.
No, you
peer-reviewed
did not.
journal
Oh
articles
my God.
on the study, with an abstract and a conclusion and those kind of things. Apparently, odor in asparagus has been a long time studied. The original studies
People are really into this.
1967, and the most recent one is 2011. And there have been consistently about every 10 years somebody decides to research asparagus pea.
Great.
So, here's what we know.
The results are in.
The cilantro thing and the asparagus thing, different but similar.
Why?
Here's why.
I can't wait.
So asparagus, people fall into 4 different categories.
Okay. With regard to asparagus.
Yes.
Okay.
You are either an excreter or a non-excreter.
No!
Or a smeller or a non-smeller. But here's the cool thing. Some excreters are smellers. Some excreters are non-smellers. Some non-excreters are smellers, and some non-excreters are non-smellers. So basically, you can be any combination of those 4 things. So some people have the enzyme isn't really an enzyme. What it is the breakdown of sulfur. So it's a sulfur compound, the excretion of a sulfur compound that's remaining in some people's urine, and they were able to trace it to a single gene so that the excretion part is genetic, but the smelling part is not genetic.
What? My mind's blown.
The conclusion was further research needs to be done, which is always hilarious because I'm like, well, 10 years, just like clockwork, somebody's going to research this.
My mind is blown because I knew there were smellers and non-smellers, but I thought everyone was an excreter.
Me too.
Why are they
or
lying about
non-excretors?
this? I think I'm a non-excreter.
But what would really be the test, since I know that I'm a smeller,
Right.
I need to smell your pee.
Right. It has to be done.
We need some asparagus stat.
It has to be done.
He's going to think I'm really calling for him to cook. He's gonna
How
be like,
long
right away.
after I eat it would you be able to?
Instantly. First pee.
What?
Yes. Insta pee.
As soon as you
eat it. It's in the next pee.
And then how many peas after?
Good question. I don't know.
Like a day's
That
worth?
was not in the article.
Well, I mean, but it's in your experience.
Oh, in my experience, like 2 or 3 peas.
My God. All right. Well, we'll have
And
to
it's
have dinner
always
then.
fun when you're like, oh, I did eat asparagus. Sometimes I'll forget. It'll be in like a breakfast omelet,
Somebody
like early in the
described
morning.
it as like, what did they call it? Like earthy vomit?
Okay.
Something that sounded okay, and then it took a
This
dark turn.
brings me into cilantro.
Okay.
Because this is another thing with its own research studies. Mm-hmm. So you are what they call a cilantrophobe.
Yes, I am.
Yes, cilantrophobic. So
I am.
also Julia Child was also cilantrophobic. And she said she would pick that stuff out and throw it on the floor if it were in her dish. She said it's trash.
Yeah, it's trash, Julia.
So, it's also, okay, so researchers were looking at how early, or the earliest writings about cilantro being disgusting for some people.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the 1600s in France and England when they were switching from medieval food, like a more medieval, I don't know, whatever medieval meals are.
Menu.
To a more modern for that time menu. And they were experimenting with new things and people were like, ugh. So the word coriander translates to the Latin word for bed bugs, because what they said that the smell of coriander was it smelt of clothes riddled with bed bugs.
Ew.
Like it smelled like, and so they looked,
So
so like
angry.
so these researchers were like, okay, well, let's find out what the heck that smell is. So they were able to break it down, and it's a combination of about 6 different substances. And those substances that are created, they're called
Garbage.
What is it? Yeah, aldehydes. It's like a fat enzyme, like the breakdown of a fat enzyme. The same other things that have the same fat enzyme, lotion
Right.
and bugs.
Oh, wow.
So it really does. But then this guy who's a neuroscientist came in and he was like, whoa, 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 hold up. This isn't just taste that's involved. It's also brain chemistry and like how you perceive taste, because he said he used to be a cilantrophobe and then realized through neuroscience that it's really our relation with food. So what happens is it's a very unusual taste, that specific herb. So if you try it for the first time and in your mind, like if every time we taste a new taste, what we do is we search for a memory of another food that was similar to it. And if we can't find a memory linked to that specific taste, our brain categorizes it as dirt or chemicals and to like keep us safe. Because we're like, that doesn't taste like anything I've ever tasted. Must be dangerous. So our brain naturally does that.
I don't know.
So when you...
Because the first time I had chocolate, I guarantee you I wasn't like, oh, wait, that's dirt.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good... But, you know, Dr. Gottfried at Northwestern University would beg to differ. And he said that the brain searches for the memory of cilantro, and since it can't place it anywhere, it logs it as a chemical or a dirt. And he said if you created positive neural pathways to the taste of cilantro, you would end up liking it.
I don't buy it.
Well, you can take it up with Dr.
I will.
Gottfried.
I will take it up with him.
Because you know what? I thought the same thing when I read that. I was like...
Every food is a first time at some point. Everything is tried for the first time.
Maybe there's something about it not being like... We like sweet things... Like, there's nothing inherently sweet about something. Something is sweet because we've...
Okay, but even if you
deemed it
just think
sweet.
about broccoli, I mean, you know, like someone had it, we have all had it for the first time at some point.
Yeah, but if your mom, like, gave it to you and was like, here, it's broccoli, and you were like, but if she was like,
No
have some
way.
broccoli. I wonder, maybe. There are kids who really don't like it, and there are
appreciate
kids
your
who love it.
theories and you and Gottfried over there.
It's not mine. This just in, your hatred of cilantro may be all in your head.
It's not. And that's the thing. When people were weighing in on like helping us get our data collection, they would say like, I'm neutral on cilantro, thinking that they were the same as me. And I'm like, no. This isn't that.
Hates it.
I have a problem, a genetic
You do not
abnormality.
like the aldehydes that are released from... They did say in this article that you can counteract those bad tasting ones if you smush it before. If you like press the garlic. And they said if you wanted to introduce yourself, like a pesto would work. And you're nodding your head like yes. Like
yes, because in all the jarred salsa, they have cilantro, and I love it. So
this is interesting.
Yeah, there's something just about it when it's not crushed up.
Yes, it is, because when you crush it up, you like break down those aldehydes so that they're really, you don't smell them anymore.
Yeah, diluted or something.
Yes. Dude, science.
Salsa and science today.
Man.
Well, I appreciate you looking into it, though, because I would love to overcome it, because it's on fucking everything.
Well, Dr. Gottfried says you can.
So he used to hate it, now he loves it. He just can't get enough.
He was like, no, he warmed himself up to it. And was like, I just started recreating neural pathways towards liking cilantro.
Huh.
He's a nerd. Whatevs.
Yeah, I guess. Did you hear that they found a time warp outside of Las Vegas?
First of all, I'm going to need to know who they are. I'm going to need to know the definition of time warp.
There's this guy. I don't know who he is. I did read it, but I don't know. It didn't ring a bell. Anyway, he says that there's a 20 microsecond time warp outside of Vegas, and
that's where, of all places, that's where a time warp would be. I mean,
right?
When I go to Vegas, I kind of feel like I'm in a little bit of a time warp myself. But
he says that it's either caused by aliens.
Okay.
You should see Sarah's face. Or, technology that is secret that we don't know about yet.
That's probably true.
Probably.
And, okay.
Yeah.
We already know that they've put a whole bunch of weird farming stuff out in the middle of Vegas, like on that stretch. Mm-hmm. There are weird... And that's also where they house the people who do...
They test stuff.
Yeah, they test stuff, and they have the control stations for, like, drones that are sent out to bomb places.
There's shit going on out there.
Yep, it's happening. Oh, dude, I get goosebumps. It's probably the aliens, though.
Right. It's one or the other.
It's one or the other.
But I loved in the article, though, where it talked about how, true astrophysicists and stuff talk about, they want to find out if these sort of little warps exist in pockets where, I guess there's a name for it, like portal or something, where you could, like, slip in.
Well, I could imagine, if you are a follower of the string theory, then you could imagine there being these little...
Yeah. But the astrophysicists say if there were, you would only be able to go back in time, not forward.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm like,
duh.
Obvi.
I didn't know that apparently Stephen Hawking hosted a party for time travelers and nobody showed up. So.
Or maybe they did, but we're caught in some time loop where he got the time wrong and he meant, I don't know, for some years in the future.
No, I don't think, because he sent out the invites and they were, no, I don't know. It just sounded like the way he did it, because he's a smart guy. And he was like...
It's my worst fear.
What? That there aren't...
Throwing a party and having nobody show up. Not that there aren't time loops.
I didn't even think of that. What if he was super sad?
Of course he was. That's where my mind goes to. Once I threw a Halloween party and everybody got like sick or didn't show up before, and like 2 people came, and I had made like custom little tombstones.
I canceled on
you canceled. Everybody canceled on me, and I was like, "This is the worst dinner party ever." There were like 2 people here. It looked like all my guests were murdered.
That's like my dream party.
It was awful. So I get it, Stephen Hawking. I am sorry. I would have come.
Well, and if you would have come, you probably would have been smelling great, because you've been getting all those wonderful...
I have it right in my bag, little spritz.
What are you wearing these days?
The Tom Ford Black Orchid.
See, that's the thing. The Scentbird size bottles that they send out, technically they're sample or, I guess, travel size.
Yeah, but
they're very
I can travel
generous.
the world with that and still have leftovers.
Yeah, it's generous. You get a new scent. You get to pick what you get, too. So it's not like a grab bag situation. If you wanted to try a certain scent, you can go on Scentbird and choose from over 450 designer brands, Prada, Gucci, Kate Spade, all that jazz, and choose your fragrance, see if you like it, because it's in a travel size that supposedly lasts 30 days. Mine lasts longer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And some of them you really love, and you're like, oh, okay, I want to buy the full size, because then you know you won't waste it. And then others, I was like, Sarah, you take this one because it'll smell better on you.
And I love it.
But I think that's so cool, because then you don't have to buy that gigantic-ass bottle, and then you're stuck with it for life. And that's why we use Scentbird.com, and we think you should too. Visit Scentbird.com/braincandy and use our code BRAINCANDY for 50% off. That's only $7.50 for your first month, plus free shipping. Scentbird.com/braincandy and use our code BRAINCANDY for 50% off your first month. Date a perfume before you have to commit to it forever. And then you get a bunch that you can then take on vacation.
Love that.
Which I also
and
really
FDA.
like.
Is it FDA? No,
TSA.
TSA.
Yeah. Yeah. See, because it's
probably
the
FDA too.
size that you're allowed to take on and carry on.
TSA
stuff.
approved.
Super cute. Try that. Okay, let me write that down. Okay, I wanted to tell you about that.
Did you see the little raccoon that climbed up 22-story building?
Yeah.
I missed it. I just heard people talk about it, and I'm like, what's this adorableness that I need to look up?
Were you into it?
Well, I love the story of a little raccoon scaling her way up the building and, like, taking little naps in the windowsill.
It was New York, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think it was in New York that a raccoon was, like, freaked out and just started scaling a building for no reason. And the world was transfixed.
Right.
And
Best
was
thing that's happened in
rooting
the
for was rooting for that crazy
this.
raccoon. I don't know why though. Raccoons are nothing but trouble.
They're adorable.
Yeah, they're cute, but they're freaking scary.
What's with it was in Minnesota.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's so cute. Little trash
He
panda
made it.
looking all cute.
Made it to the roof. Then what? What'd they do?
They trapped it and brought it down and then released it into the wild. Could you imagine climbing all the way to the top and then somebody catches you and takes you down and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the
I just
pictures
got all the way
that
up here.
people took. Right. Yeah.
Well, I would be pissed. It's 22 hours climbing that building. Now I got to start at the bottom?
And people were working in the building, and they could take, like, as it got to their window, they would take, like, pictures of it.
Cute.
It would be horrifying to watch it fall.
Horrifying.
So people were really invested in that.
Do you think they were like no?
What?
Like in my mind, they like it's like a Curious George book where like they've called in the town fire department to come and they have the trampoline underneath.
They're not that
waiting
invested.
for. Right. I'm like, oh, they probably wouldn't use all those man hours to save a raccoon.
What do you think it is in the human mind, though, that makes us care more about that raccoon than, like, like real people that are suffering?
Yeah. Well, we've even discussed this. That, like, people
what
care
is
more
it,
about
though?
dogs than.
Is it a human defense mechanism
I
or
don't know.
something?
I have no idea.
Because it seems kind
Maybe
of
it's
crazy.
Like, it does, but like, oh my God, I swerved out of the road the other day to avoid hitting an adorable rat.
Sarah.
And then I was like, I don't even like rats, but I swerved.
What was adorable about it?
I mean, it just looked like he was like, I'm just trying to take it across the street.
Oh my God.
And
You hate things that scurry.
I know, but I was just like, there was a car windshield and four tires between me and this rat, so I was like safe. And no chance of it crawling up my leg, which is what I'm really scared of. So from afar, I was like, yep, definitely, you're adorable. And I had to veer out of the way, and I was just thinking, man, if I were like on a highway, like, would I be the one to swerve out of the way of an animal and then like get in a car accident? And I was like, I probably would. And that's an awful thing to, don't do that. I mean, I didn't want to kill him.
Why do you think it is that, for example, we have lizards around here, and I love them, and I think they're so cute, but snakes, no go.
Oh.
Why?
You know what? I've actually seen not a documentary, but it was like one of those nature shows on Nat Geo.
Yeah.
Where they were kind of like investigating this. Like, what is it about a snake? And it's the way that it moves. It's something that defies, because even when you try to recreate that mechanically, it doesn't do the same thing for us. There's a way that the snake
Yeah, it doesn't
moves
make sense.
That doesn't make sense to us. Like if you recreate it looks not right when you're like, that's not really. It's weird. It like tricks our brain a little bit to be like, nothing should move like that. Get it away from me.
It defies laws of physics.
And I feel this. The grossest. Oh my god. Okay, ready to get creeped out? Underwater snakes. Okay.
Wait,
have you seen
what do you mean
snakes
by
swimming?
I've seen them swimming,
Dude.
but they don't go under, do
Yeah,
they?
sometimes they do, and I just like cannot deal with that shit. I am like,
Do you remember on the challenge when they did that?
fuck that. I know. Yes, that is like where my mind goes. That is. Here's why I'm torn with that. I'm like, my brain just almost
Because
explodes.
you'd win.
Yes,
I know.
Yes, because it's like one of my favorite things combined with one of my least favorite things.
Right.
I'm like,
you would do
snakes.
it.
Why'd it have to be snakes?
You would go into your happy place.
Yeah,
In your
Man,
brain.
my happy place would just be infested with snakes. But I used to have these terrifying nightmares when I was little, where I had a bunk bed. Well, in real life, I had a bunk bed that didn't have a bottom. It'd be like underneath. My mom made this cute little kitchenette play area.
Yeah.
It was adorable. But I would have this reoccurring nightmare where the entire floor would be snakes, and I'd be trapped in my bunk bed, and I couldn't get down, and they'd be crawling up the side. And I think it came from that movie, The Craft. Do you remember that?
I never
There's some
saw it.
scene. Oh, well, skip the end, unless you want reoccurring snake nightmares.
Is it about snakes?
No, but there's a scene where in the very end where like one of the bad witches is trying to like make this girl's worst nightmares come to life, and it's like she opens up a toilet and there are like maggots spilling out, and like she opens up a room and there's snakes all over it's like
How old were you when you had that dream?
probably 11 or 10
It's very
or 11.
Freudian
Yes.
to dream about snakes.
Oh, really? Like what? Like
Penis.
penises?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. This was a time I may have touched a penis that I
scared of
didn't want,
snakes.
but I must have been very scared. Dude,
I don't know.
therapist Susie.
Right. Right.
You think that, yeah.
Lately, I've been reading stuff, though, about Freud that I am not loving.
Oh, no. Nobody does. We've kind of like, we
Yeah.
turn a blind eye to a lot of the stuff. And anytime somebody's like, oh, I'm a psychoanalytic therapist, I'm like,
Ew.
Oh.
Oh, I
Are
know
you?
your type.
yeah.
Yeah, I know your snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Speaking of that kind of stuff, I was listening to one of my favorite shows, Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, on NPR. And one of the gentlemen who called in to answer some of the questions, they asked him, like, hey, what do you do for work? And he said, oh, I'm a psychoanalyst. And they were like, oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a sec. Is a psychoanalyst a fancy word for therapist?
I thought so.
I thought so too. And then I was like, that's a male thing to say that you're a psychoanalyst, not I'm a therapist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they want to sound like a psychiatrist,
yes,
but they're not.
I was thinking that too. In fact, I had to Google because I was like, wait a sec. Is that what
Hold
I
on.
am? But I would
Yeah.
never call myself that. And then I was like, that is what I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a male thing to. And I was like, well, now I have to call myself a psychoanalyst.
Yeah, you do.
I like to get that kind of respect, because I wonder if it's seen.
Well, because professions are so gendered
Yeah.
in the way we see them.
It's totally
I'm
true.
surprised they haven't come up with a different name for nurse yet.
You know what? There is one. What is it?
No, I
No,
don't
because
know
a
one.
physician's assistant is different.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
But I'm surprised
Yeah.
because if you are a nurse who's male, I bet you get real sick of that nonsense. Anyway, before I move on, though, can we talk about how awesome those BioClarity masks are?
Ooh, girl. Mm-hmm. I love that clarifying mask.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I went for it, and I was like, sometimes I need a little clarifying.
Yes. Sarah's doing the hydrating mask, which is known as the Glow Getter.
I love both.
And I got the Pore Purifier because I want to keep my skin
Well,
clear.
and then I went and got the other one too.
No, you did not.
Yes.
Okay, so now you have both.
Yeah.
Why is she always one-upping?
Get out.
They have...
you can get one too, Suze.
BioClarity has these 3-step routines that we've been talking about for a long time, where you can cleanse, treat, and restore your skin with really wonderful ingredients. And they have an essentials routine or a clear skin routine if you have trouble skin like me. And it really does help keep your skin glowing and clear, and it's delivered straight to you. It's easy to use, 3 steps, and then you can add the mask, which changes everything, in the words of Sarah. And you can get started on healthier habits with your skincare. Just go to bioclarity.com Our listeners will get their first month for 50% off a routine, plus shipping is free, and it comes with 100% risk-free money-back guarantee, but you need to enter our code BRAINCANDY. That's bioclarity.com and enter our code BRAINCANDY. Mm-hmm. Do it. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. All right. Oh, my God.
What?
Did you read about...
I love everything that starts like that.
This must be all about fears today, because this is one of my fears.
Okay.
Did you hear about the lady who was taken to... An ambulance was called. They determined she was dead. Went to the morgue. Was in the freezer. Wasn't dead.
And then woke up. I did hear about this.
Fucking scares the piss out of me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Linda.
Oh my God, Suze.
Yeah.
This is not the first time this has happened.
Of course, but
there was a guy. A little like not that long. I think because I didn't hear a story about a woman. It was like a year ago when I heard a story about a dude.
Sometimes it happens where like at the funeral they'll come to life.
Oh, for Pete's sake!
But that's usually in like third worldy. You know what I mean? Like where like things are a little bit unclear in the medical field.
So what was the situation with her?
This was in South Africa, but the ambulance was called. Here's what the deal is, though. They have a system where the ambulance companies are privatized, which, is not uncommon. Mm-hmm. But apparently they were not so good at determining whether she was dead. They said they found no vitals and that she had no pulse, but that's not really how the human body works. But she was sent to the morgue. They put her in the dang freezer, and then they just noticed she was still breathing. Oh, she had been in a car accident. And so she needed care to begin with. I mean, if she wasn't dead, she should really be getting care.
Oh, my God.
And she was at...
They're like, nope, nothing to see here. Just put her in the fridge. She's fine. She's dead. Probably dead.
And they're like, oh, wait, she's breathing.
Stop wiggling
and so they
as soon as she gets cold enough.
And, what if they were like... And she was shivering. So, and so they had to take her real quick to the hospital, and now she's alive. But, Sarah, that is not okay.
Not okay. There are stories about... Like, they used to put bells on...
Yes!
Okay.
In caskets.
Yes.
And you could ring it if you
Dude.
if you woke up down there.
How many people have to be buried alive till you're like, this seems to be a problem. Let's add a bell.
They should make bells standard in caskets. I really think.
Susie's changing how she wants to die now, and now she's like, nope, don't spread my ashes. What I would really like is to be in a... I want bells everywhere.
And whistles.
I want bells and whistles.
Put a whistle around my neck.
Put a tambourine in there.
I want to be
a symbol. Give her a symbol.
I essentially want to be a one-woman band in my casket. Because what if, and that's happened in history for sure.
For sure.
Lots of people have been trapped underground.
Dude.
That is a nightmare.
Didn't we just talk about somebody who was accidentally embalmed?
Yes.
What is happening in the world of mortuary services?
Right? It's scary. It ain't right, Sarah.
No.
And that happened on Days of Our Lives in the 90s when I was watching as like a young child. I was probably 12 or something.
Oh my gosh, is this your snake
Her name was Carly, the character. And she was buried alive.
So this is your snake story.
Yeah, it is.
Dude.
It ain't right. Because what if, Sarah?
Yeah, what if?
What would you do?
Well, I've already been buried alive.
And?
It sucked.
What
but
if you're like,
I had to wait for Johnny Bananas to dig me out of there, so who knows what could have happened to me. I would have been pronounced dead, too.
Let's say there wasn't a person. What do you think the odds are?
Of
0%.
Of getting out? Suze, 0% ever. And I was buried under, I think it ended up being like 6 inches. It's not even that much dirt. We were buried under... Yeah, just a couple, probably not even a foot.
It's impossible.
The amount of, I recently read this in a book I read. To dig a 3-foot by 6-foot grave takes the equivalent of I think it's 1,600 pounds. And then you have all that pressure. I can't lift up 1,600 pounds, can you?
No.
So you're stuck. I think that something like that, the math on, it's in this great book I'm reading called Something's in the Water. Ooh, it's good. But she talks about that.
I just feel like...
So you're stuck. You're definitely fucked.
What do you think the numbers are throughout history? Just in the last 100 years, how many people do you think have been buried alive? And died, just sitting there thinking about it?
Oh, fucking Susie.
Wait, do you think you run out of air first? Because that's better than just sitting there for days.
What I think is that you go, well, at least from my own experience, I think you would, you'd start breathing what does it turn? You run out of oxygen and it turns into carbon. You're only breathing carbon monoxide.
That's fine.
So you're really just going to fall
asleep. And you probably
asleep.
lose your mind quick.
Yes, that's what I think it is. Because I was feeling like I was losing my mind in there, even
really,
after
Sarah?
only about. I think it's one of those things. You know who was fine with it? Like
who?
Jenna, no problem. And she's like, it was like a tanning salon. I don't think she's going through how many people have been buried alive through history and how I don't think she's familiar with historical references to people being buried alive and just how awful it is. And I think it's one of those the more you know things.
More at peace,
Probably that too.
Yeah.
And definitely that. And able to just get her mind in a place where I'm not. I go straight to Worriesville, USA.
I'm surprised though because they can't let you die in there.
Well, I know that, but there's a difference between knowing and what your psyche, what your subconscious does to you, and that every part of your instincts are push that thing, get yourself out of here. You are dying. And the scariest part isn't that you're buried. It's that for me it was that I couldn't move my arms.
Yeah.
You're stuck dead, and you couldn't even scratch your nose. There's your nose, the tip of your nose is 2 inches away from wood. So you can't even get your arms up. You need the shoulder and that's the part that freaks me out. Feeling like I can't move.
Oh my God.
You're stuck. And definitely dying.
Right, definitely dying.
100%.
I'm not into that. But it is comforting though. People talk about that with plane crashes where you will be unconscious long before you hit the ground.
They say that about jumping out of buildings.
No way.
That you have a heart attack before you hit the ground.
Oh, I think you did tell me that, and I mustn't believe you.
Yeah, you never believe me.
Because it seems like no way it's not that long of a time.
Dude.
What?
I just Googled, just for shits and giggles, how many people have been buried alive. And this BuzzFeed article came back, or Mental Floss article, so we know it's good, was 4 people who were buried alive and how they got out.
Oh my God, thank
You
Christ.
have to read this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just a lot of clawing?
Oh, man, there are good stories. One titled The Shoemaker, so that's going to be good.
All right, I'm going to read that, but I'll also put it in the newsletter. You guys can sign up on our website, thebraincandypodcast.com. Did you see our Sorry Linda shirt?
Oh,
my God.
It's the best ever.
What's your favorite part?
The expression on her. It's exactly how I feel when I have to apologize to Linda, but also sorry, not sorry. It's so funny. It cracks me up, and her face is the best.
Really, you can get the shirt on our website as well, but people want Linda to come on the show, but unfortunately, that email has been lost to history.
No, we'll never
I cannot find it. Dahlia doesn't have it. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
And obviously, she doesn't listen anymore.
Well, and you know what else I love about the shirt is the woman is obviously a badass bitch, feminist in her business suit. I was like, she runs shit.
Her power suit.
Yeah, she's in a power suit. Busting frown.
And
Poor
we
Linda.
have onesies now.
Yes.
Super cute.
Oh my God, that little dynamite shirt is so cute.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Sorry Linda, though. That takes a cake. I cannot wait till mine arrives.
Oh my God, I'm going to wear that everywhere. And I can't wait for people to be like, who the fuck is Linda? And I'll be like,
I'm glad you asked.
let me tell you.
She's real uptight.
Yeah.
And I know when I wear it, I will be looking amazing because I have been using Nutrafol, which is a lot of gals and men, obviously, have thinning hair or just hair loss from stress, pregnancy.
Oh, girl.
After you have a baby, breastfeeding, it can mess up.
And here's the other thing. Hair loss is different for men than it is for women.
Why, though?
The things that make women's hair loss happen are different than, so like there are different needs. So a lot of times there are products that are marketed towards men's hair loss, but there's not really a lot out there for women. And it's really nice to have something that like is internal, that's no,
it's drug-free.
Drug-free. Yeah. Thank you. That is the word. I was like, no medicine. What is that? Give me a better way to say that.
Well, because, I mean, a lot of women have that problem. And like, I always am bitter anytime like hormones are to blame because we get a real raw deal in that department.
Do.
And it's like all this bad stuff. But anyway, there's a solution, Nutrafol, you can take, and like Sarah said, is 100% drug-free, no GMO, any of that stuff. And it has 2 formulas, one for women, one for men, which we really like. And you can get your first month supply with subscription for $10. Visit NUTRAFOL.com and use promo code BRAINCANDY during checkout. That's your first month supply with subscription for $10. Visit Nutrafol, that's NUTRAFOL.com, and use promo code BRAINCANDY at checkout. Because if you have that problem, it can be really embarrassing and stuff. So give it a try.
What do you got to lose?
Not more your hair.
Suze, I've learned a few things.
Yeah.
You have what they called taphophobia, in addition to cilantrophobia. Taphophobia is the fear of being buried alive. And it's more commonly known as premature burial, the being buried alive.
Yeah, and I also feel that way about like avalanche things.
Yeah, it's the burial thing you're not down for.
And
Who is, though?
I'm not down for it. It's also the fact that you're powerless.
Yes.
That is very triggering.
And like lost forever, that like somebody won't be able to, unfindable. It also says that a person consumes 1.5 liters of oxygen per minute. It would take almost 5.5 hours before the oxygen in the coffin was consumed. So you have 5.5 hours to.
That's fine. I can handle that.
Think about your.
I can't handle like days though.
No, fuck that.
Did you read about those little Thai boys in the cave? It's crazy.
It's crazy. And then one Marine lost his life in trying to get
a Navy SEAL.
Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What happened?
So they have this cave in Thailand where it's, a tourist attraction and stuff.
Oh my God, that's always terrifying. Who's going into caves?
Well, have you not ever been in one?
Yeah, they're terrifying.
And
every time I do, I'm like, this is a mistake.
It was a soccer team of boys in age from 10 to 16 and their coach who was 25. And they were just like checking it out in there when it's Thailand's rainy season and there was a flash flood.
Which are also terrifying.
Yeah.
They come and it's like a tidal wave of water.
Yeah, it's like a tsunami but from the rain.
Dude.
And it flooded the cave. And apparently the cave is like a network of caves. Mm-hmm. So there was not clarity on where they were. Oh my God. And it's really long. It's kilometers long and deep. And so it took 10 days to find them. Oh my God. Luckily, they're alive, but they had to send in 4 months' worth of food because they're probably going to have to stay in there till October.
Oh.
When the rainy season is over.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
Because the only way out is scuba, and it's not regular scuba. It's mud and crevices.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's
almighty.
why that guy died, because he's a Navy SEAL.
He tried to go scuba dive to get him.
Well, he ran out of air on his way back out.
Holy crap. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my. This is the worst.
And so they're in there, and they just are like
stuck
hanging out.
They have to, well.
But
somebody teach them some camp games.
Oh, my God.
They're really going to need, send in a Scrabble, some cards. Lord.
Listen to
something.
Sarah being, making jokes over there.
I'm
about
not.
These
are real
boys.
things. They're going to go nuts. Trapped in a dark cave for 4 months with nothing to do.
They were really excited about the food.
At least a soccer ball.
Oh my God, Sarah.
These are not jokes. These are facts, people. They're stuck there. Let's make the best of it.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. But yeah, you're right. Like they're going to have to self-entertain.
Yes. Could you imagine? Talk about that's a fear. That's essentially being buried alive with a little more room.
You're so right.
This is the same thing, Susie.
Yes.
And Susie's like, it's whatevs.
No, you're saying that. I'm saying I'm glad they got the food because they went 10 days without food. So I guess they were reached. So the scuba divers got to them, but I think before they got there, they were able to talk to. Maybe when the scuba guys got there, then they were able to radio up, and they just kept saying, eat, eat, eat. Like, we need to eat. Can you imagine how hungry you'd be after 10 days? Like, the madness of hunger
totally
would have already...
And something about not having any light, that's got to do...
Good point.
Oh, my God.
I was not picturing it like that.
Because there's no natural light down there.
You are
and they're
so
gonna,
right.
Oh, my God, Suze... They're gonna run out. They don't have flashlights. What are they gonna do for 4 months? Maybe they'll send flashlights.
They did
down
send
light,
other
but
things. Yeah.
You have no light.
Yeah.
For that long, I bet their vitamin D is gonna be so depleted.
For real.
For real. Like
Yeah.
there are health concerns. Like when you're somewhere. I mean, could you imagine being like?
And can you imagine being the parent of those 10-year-olds?
No. No.
It would be. You'd be so desperate to solve the problem, but you can't.
Oh my God.
But anyway, I'm just glad it's so far a happy ending in terms of the kids. I'm sad that guy died trying to rescue them. But like, come on. Why are you letting tourists in this area when it's rainy season? I'm not into that. Mm-hmm. You know, but I don't think they have a lot of oversight.
Regulations.
Yeah. But,
I've been there and they do not.
Right. It sounds like a challenge.
Yeah.
Or it's like free for all.
Oh my God.
Hold on, let me mark this dead woman that isn't dead off my list. I read about this dude. Why are we like the bearers of bad news?
Oh my God! And I'm looking at my stories, and I'm like, mine are equally as in the same category of things that you should be terrified of, but sort of, but not really.
Like, it's just that I read this stuff and I have to share it.
Yeah, same.
Some guy worked at this office. It reminds me of Dunder Mifflin. And
the people's persons paper people?
Dunder Mifflin.
The people persons paper people.
But he was poisoning their lunches.
Okay.
21 people since the year 2000 have died under mysterious circumstances at this office.
And nobody thought to motherfucking investigate?
No.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. And
Susie, 21 people died.
Or almost died. One or the other.
Either way.
But a lot of people died. Some of them probably almost died. And this one guy got his sandwich out, and he noticed that there was like a white powder on it. For real. And he took it to the police and was like, I think I'm being poisoned.
Okay. And could you imagine if you're somebody who, like, if you're the police officer who somebody comes into you and you're like, and they're like, here's what's happening. I am being poisoned by some dude who doesn't like me in my office. Has he poisoned you, sir? I don't know, but I think it has something to do with lunch meat. That's where it's going. And like, you would be rolling your eyes so much at this guy.
Right.
And it turns out he's right.
Yeah. I believe, I don't know, they found at his apartment like lead, mercury, arsenic, like all these different chemicals you could put on people's food. And it reminds me of on Friends when somebody ate Ross's moist maker sandwich and he lost his marbles about it. Because that is the worst when you write a note like, don't eat my sandwich, and then someone dies.
Yeah.
This is why I don't have a job outside of my home.
This is so crazy because this story bridges two other stories that I have. I have one story about arsenic poisoning in a weird, peculiar place. And I have another story about how office food is making you fat. Which one would you like to hear?
Let's go with the office food. Oh, I did see the headline on that.
So the CDC is like, hey,
your
people.
Your work is making you fat.
The free food at work.
Yeah.
We're talking, they did the numbers, an extra 1,277 calories a week.
Okay.
Do you know how many calories you need to gain a pound?
Yes.
3,600 or something like that.
You're asking me if I know.
Right. So Susie's like, yes, I do. So basically, every 2 weeks, you're gaining a pound just by eating your office food, which would turn into over 25 pounds a year.
Which is about how much people tend,
Whoa, buddy. So this is what the CDC recommends.
Okay. They always have great ideas.
Maybe we need to enforce a health plan at offices, and you would probably be better off bringing in carrot sticks.
No.
Who's going to like that jerk? It's my birthday. I brought everybody carrot sticks.
Wait,
fuck off, Steve.
There's Steve in HR.
I don't want your goddamn carrot sticks.
They were suggesting You bring them for other people?
Yes.
That
Like-
isn't even a
like
good suggestion
instead of-
if you're telling me to do it for myself.
And my favorite thing is this. We'll put this. We have to put this article in the newsletter because the article that I read was funnier than the headline ever could have been. Because while they were going through the article, there would be little notes inside that would say things like, "Just so you know, this person just came up and offered me, like, as I'm writing this, they offered me a chocolate sprinkled donut in lieu of my coffee or whatever." And so
I
it's
didn't
like
realize there was this much food
because
happening.
you don't work in an office.
Well, maybe
Oh,
I
let me tell
should.
you, I do now.
What is going on?
All
Who's
the time
buying
people
it?
it's a combination of things. So in our situation, I think some people bake when they're stressed or bake when they're, like we call it procrastinating because it's like instead of doing an actual assignment, we'll bake something instead.
Yeah.
So people feeling guilty from their procrastinating will bring in a plate of donuts for everybody and put it in the break room. And so, they're like available. Or when anybody goes on vacation, they always come back with like, what's the thing that everybody likes? Okay, well, I went to Hawaii. I'm going to come back with chocolate covered, macaroon. Or what are those called? The nuts.
Oh, yeah, macadamia nuts.
Yes, chocolate
Yeah.
that everybody gets. So they, that's in the office. And then, somebody went to Turkey, so they brought back Turkish delights. And they were like,
Wow.
yeah. So
You guys are so international.
yeah, and oh my gosh, I had no idea how many snacks were available in grad school because anytime we have like, it's a holiday or it's a thing, I have professors who love having potlucks.
Wow.
We'll have like 4-hour classes and they'll be like, yeah, just bring in some food and we'll be like chomping down and talking
You are
about sex
lucky.
therapy. It's great.
We didn't even get fucking challah.
Oh, even really?
You would think,
think.
something. If I'll take a
Body of
communion
Christ.
wafer.
Yeah.
Body of Christ. Right. We did drink during class,
Oh, well, we don't do that.
like whiskey and stuff.
Oh, okay. Here she is. Yeah, we're not so much doing that as the therapists with seeing clients. Can you imagine?
Because they were night classes. They'd start at 6:30, so
That would be
you're
great.
like,
Could you imagine if all of us boozed up
It
talking
made a
about sex
difference.
therapy? It'd be hilarious.
it's probably good though during religious stuff because it's
for
like,
sure.
ugh,
You need a little of that.
yeah, because otherwise it can be a little dry.
Yeah.
But I would love a bagel every now and
Do you need me to bring you bagels in the morning?
I wouldn't be mad.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do that. I love a bagel. And you know what? You've got one of the best bagel places at the bottom of your hill.
What is it called?
Noah's Bagels.
Oh.
Made fresh, New York style. This is not an ad for New York. For Noah's Bagels.
That's hilarious.
This just in. Noah's Bagels are the tits.
That's so funny. Well, last time Sarah was here, I said, can I get you something to eat? And you were like, Landon told me he was going to start packing me a lunch when I come over here. I'm like, why? And you were like, well, because, he just wants to make sure I eat. And I'm like, we have food here.
I know, but I feel like I can't be like raiding your fridge all the time. Like
That's
once
hilarious.
a week, just come over
Can
and just
you
like eat
picture
whatever
it?
I want.
You and your little bag of lunch.
Yeah.
That's real cute.
I got like some almonds, and he's like, because
You do today?
They're in my other bag, but he just doesn't
God.
like when I come home hangry because I'll be sitting in traffic and then I'm like edgy, and I walk in that door at 7:30, and I'm like,
Lay off me.
yeah,
I'm starving.
everybody move.
Yeah, that is the worst
I'm
because
like
you have
a
such
monster,
a long drive.
and it
You
wouldn't
should
be
keep
bad.
food in the car too.
I should.
Like all those
Ritz
bars.
crackers.
Anything. You are obsessed with Ritz crackers.
No, I just bought a whole box the other day, and they were on sale for only $1.50 for the small. Like, can you believe that?
No,
price?
I cannot.
Smart and Final. Also not an ad for Smart.
It's hilarious.
I'm basically just giving you the list of where I've shopped in the last week.
All right. Well, that's all for today.
Oh man, this was a funny
Good
one.
times.
My cheeks hurt from laughing.
I know.
so.
You probably learned nothing.
Nothing.
But
Well,
you-
no, they did about asparagus
Okay.
and cilantro. So there you go.
Brain and
and
candy.
candy.
Bye,
You're welcome,
everybody.
people.